Hey YouTube, this is my third and final rifle. So this is an entirely different philosophy of use. This is a competition rifle. Your target is not and never will be another combatant or militant. This, you are shooting paper. And because of that, that changes everything. The range of what you'll be shooting at is 100 to 600 yards. So the rifle build is designed for that, and this is never indoors, this is always outdoors. So that's kind of the philosophy of use. So since this is a competition rifle, weight is not an issue, and actually you do add some things to increase the weight, and we'll get to. You want a heavier rifle. It helps with recoil, helps you be a little bit more precise. If you've ever studied physics, momentum is mass times velocity. So if you are going to if you are going to exert some momentum on this rifle, the bigger the mass, the less velocity you'll exert on it. So you can, any subtle movements you make less of an impact on the rifle itself. So again, I like to start with the barrel. Everything starts with the barrel. So this is a 20-inch bull barrel. So 20-inch gives the longest velocity you would want. You can go up to 24 inches, but I think that's a little much. So this is a service rifle actually. So not only is it defined by those three criteria I talked about before, this is a specialized rifle and a specialized type of competition called NRA Service Rifle Competition, or CMP competition. You need it to look very similar to a normal service rifle, which would be an M16. So the M16s had a 20-inch barrel, so this is a 20-inch bull barrel. I didn't put any sort of muzzle device on it. I didn't want them torquing anything on this and maybe warping the barrel a tad. I don't need to hide a flash, so I don't need a flash hider, so it doesn't really matter. And you can't really put a compensator on it anyway, so I don't want anything there. I think it's only better. You do want a thick, heavy barrel. That does help accuracy. That does increase rigidity so that the vibrations aren't as, the amplitudes of the vibrations aren't really high, so your shots are more consistent. What's interesting about this is you might think, oh hey, this isn't that accurate. This handguard attaches to the barrel itself. No, it does not. This is a service rifle. It's made by White Oaks Armaments. There's actually a tube within this handguard. It attaches to the receiver. The tube goes in the handguard and pops out, and then the handguard actually attaches to that tube, and that tube does not actually touch the barrel. It's actually pretty cool. Oh, I didn't get my tool. Let's see if I can. I have a tool. Nah, I don't really want to show it. That's fine. You could look it up yourself, but this is a free-floated barrel, even though it does not look that way. So that does, of course, increase accuracy. So going back to the optics, this has no optic. This is a service rifle competition, so you can only use iron sights. Because of that, I do not have a flat top upper. This is a standard A2 upper receiver that has the normal handguard with a iron sight at the end. So the types of iron sights you have are also dictated by the rifle, the fact that it's a competition rifle. The front sight's actually really thin, and can actually lock into place as well. And then it's actually adjustable through screws down here. So it's very modular and very thin, so you can make very precise shots at long ranges. This rear sight as well, the hood is actually really small, so you can make really precise shots. So what you're shooting through is really small. If you have more of a tactical military purpose for your rifle, you want a bigger hood in general, so you could have better target acquisition. This, you're shooting a paper target that's not moving, so it doesn't really matter. The rear sight is actually drilled and pinned into the receiver itself to maintain stability, so that's pretty cool. Bolt carrier group, just a standard M16 bolt carrier group. But we're going to get to the trigger. This trigger is entirely different than my other two triggers. Again, your target is not combatants, it's not militants. you can have a lighter trigger. If you're going to have a bench rifle that you're just shooting paper at, you can have as lighter trigger as you want to maintain that accuracy. So this is a Geisley National Match Service Rifle trigger. The first stage, it does have to be 4.5 total pounds though, to be supposed to mimic an actual firearm, an actual military firearm. Triple checking again. That's clear. So this has a 2-stage trigger. The first stage, however, is 3.5 pounds. Okay, and then the next stage is only 1 pound. So that second stage is now only 1 pound. So sometimes with that light of a stage, sometimes you may accidentally discharge. I have done that in competition. It doesn't really matter. You're not firing at someone, you know. So if you do accidentally discharge, your score just goes down. That's the only alternative. But it does have this 3.5 pound stage, and then that second page is really, like, you could just see that it just easily goes over. This is shot in that chicken wing style, so you do have the standard A2 grip. You kind of have to. This is a rifle, it's a competition rifle, and you do have this standard rifle stock. That is actually necessary as part of the competition. There's actually a lead weight in this stock that makes this, I think last I checked, was a 13-pound rifle. You do want it a little heavier, like I said, and you actually add lead weight to add balance to the rifle. So the barrel's so heavy, you would be front heavy, so you do want that rear lead weight to kind of make it the center of mass kind of in the middle of the rifle. But as you can see, all these rifles are entirely different. They're all the AR-15 platform. But what you buy for them, what sights you use, what type of sights, what type of trigger, what type of grip, stock, it all completely is different. And as you can see, that entirely depends on what you intend to do with it, which is your target, what type of targets are you shooting, where you're shooting it, and the distance that you're shooting at. So if you can define that, that'll help you build your rifle. I do want to spend some time talking about different types of builds. So some people get, like my tactical carbine,